She bought me one like that the year before last, and I gave it to somebody in Chicago because they was just kind of just really loving it, and I was like, you know, here, I gave it to them. Yeah.
Gift?
Yeah, I gave a gift away, yeah. I'm a regifter.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So what we gonna do, Norm, can you hit that back, right, so this can be like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through, how to effectively do an op meeting, how to effectively do a group presentation, whereas to when you, or getting the opportunity, because we wanna start going to daycare centers. We wanna start going to, these home health care businesses. And we wanna be able to talk to them about, them getting benefit packages through us, right? And then also them, wanting to supplement their income. But how do we go in and have that group presentation? Because you always won't have the opportunity to say, let me call this person, let me call that person, they can go with me. And so you shouldn't be at a point where you go into a meeting that you're not equipped to go handle. Or if you see 50 people, like we had one with Felicia Lanier and Sue Johnson last week. And Dormond couldn't make it, and I almost could, because it was the same night that we had AIG here. So we sent them two in that meeting, and they unprepared, and they're not equipped, then they would go to that meeting, and I think they end up now with, they got some close to like 15, 16 appointments they got lined up coming up this upcoming week from that one meeting. And they all want to get insurance and things like that, but if they wasn't equipped, and I couldn't make it, and Dormond couldn't make it, then now we get in front of 50 people, and they just kind of share a little something, and it really wasn't impactful, it didn't really move anybody, so now they can't go out there and have an effective presentation. Whenever you leave out a group presentation or an op meeting, it should be some juices flowing, right? You should how many of y'all, if you love wine, you don't want a tree full of grapes, then you squeeze the grapes, no wine come out. That's how it is when you go do group meetings and op meetings, and you get no IBAs, you get no life sales, no nothing come out of it. You stand in front of a grape tree, you want some wine, you squeeze the grapes, ain't nothing coming out. So after a while, how many more times you gonna go to that tree?
None.
Then you're not gonna go too many more times because you lose hope in it. And it's the same way if you're going to do group presentation, op meetings, and it's ineffective, or even kick the table. We do most of our recruiting across kick the table. But again, even with that, if you don't know how to do it effectively, where you get the results, people start to not believe in the process of doing it, and so they'll eventually stop. And so we're gonna do some training around it this morning. So it's gonna be participation. I'm gonna go over a couple slides on how it should be done. When I'm speaking, what am I trying to derive? See, every slide that you press play on and you start talking about, you should have an intent. Like, what do you wish to accomplish by doing this? Right? You should have something that you're looking to go accomplish, because you shouldn't, any page in my presentation that was in there that I didn't have intent with, I don't use it. Like, we got a 6-page presentation, right? But how many of those 6 pages do I use?
Probably 3.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah, this is 3 or 4 pages. Why don't I use the other 2? Because I have no intentions on those, right? So there's the other page in there about needs analysis. Well, I don't do them, so I don't talk about it. Now, if it's I know how to, if it's one of them clients that just tech or they analytical type people,
yes,
then I'm gonna offer them that, and I'm gonna give them one. But the average person that we sit down with, closing life insurance and putting a savings or investment on their program, they ain't trying to even take that 50-page document and do nothing with it.
No.
We told them we're giving them the short version. This is what, put the money in the financial calculator. This is what it's going to look like in 30 years. Sounds good? Sounds good. Great. We get everything accomplished that we want to get accomplished with lesser words. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this is the first page, guys. What's the first page for the presentation?
Credibility.
Credibility. So you got to ask yourself this is my first impression. And I got to show myself credible to the people that I'm presenting to. If I'm not credible, then where are we going past it? See, you're gonna be at the rule of 79, and ain't nobody even tuned in because they couldn't get past your credibility. So when you're talking on this page and you're giving the statistics of the company, number one, you got to be captivating. Like, you got to come out strong when you introducing a company. You the first impression. You can't really start off low. I mean, like low energy wise. Like when you're presenting to people, they gotta feel like you believe what you're talking about.
That's right.
Right? Your passion and your conviction should come across, and that ain't always in your tone. It's just sometimes it's in your mannerism, right? Your mannerism. Sometimes you can look at people and say they believe. Like I'm looking at Renee Summer right now. I know she believes those some good sturdy seats. How do I know that? She's not bracing herself. She got her feet all kicked, that the legs gave out right now. She's in trouble. But her body language, how comfortable she is, says she believes that that chair is good. It's sturdy. You ever walk to some people's house and they have them chairs with the wood things on them? You know, you gotta go there, you gotta shake that thing first, right? So your mannerism says what your belief is. And anytime you present it to somebody, we talking about group presentation and I mean right now, but even at a kitchen table, your conviction has to come across, and it has to come across early, because people will tune you out.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So my intent for this page is to show what? Credibility. But inside of me showing the credibility, I have to come across as I'm convinced and convicted by what I'm saying is credible. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when I come across, the first thing, guys, you gotta understand, before you get into the company, understand this thing. People don't buy the company. Who do they buy? What do they buy?
You.
They buy you. So whenever you get ready to present, whether by kitchen table or out meeting, the first thing they got to believe in is you.
That's right.
So you never get into this without getting into this. Does that make sense? Don't get into that. Don't get into the presentation without giving understanding what the main presentation is you. So a couple things about the main presentation. You got to make sure your appearance is right.
That's right.
Right? You got to make sure that you intact, that you looking good. Right? You smelling good. And that you don't give them any reason not to want to do business with you.
That's right.
You can't get in your own way. Go ahead, Norm.
Real quick, when you say get into you.
Right, you, who you are. People buy you. Talk about you, talk about your family, talk about, give it to you. Right? So before you can get into you, you got to make sure, hey, how am I looking? How am I smelling? How am I talking? You got to make sure that that breath is intact. Right? You got to keep that little stuff, spray stuff, suck stuff, whatever you got to do.
Just
right?
don't be chewing no gum.
Just don't be chewing no gum. That throws off the people. Right? And if you do chew gum, spit it out before you get into the house.
Right.
Does that make sense? But you got to make sure you're right. So they got to get through. The first attraction is physical. Right? So before they be attracted to the business, they're going to be attracted to you. So when you walk through the door, the first thing they doing, y'all ever notice if they looking you up and down? That's the first thing they do. They checking you out.
Yes,
and then they answer the door, they let you in, and guess what they do? They look outside at your car. You ain't got to have the best car, but just clean it. You know what I'm saying? Just clean the one you got. Because you pulling up on people, and you can be driving a bucket, but if that bucket clean, you got armor rolls on your tires, it don't make no difference. Because that's your good impression. You see what I'm saying? They only pay attention to what the model is if it's clean and you got that armor roll shining. Does that make sense? Right? So then now when you walk through, how do you look? Do you look like what you finna talk about?
That's right.
Right, we're going to talk to people about millions of dollars, rule of 72, 10,000 one-time investment, going to get you $2.5 million bucks, and you look like $2. We've been talking about the opportunity, and then a 50% contract, how much they going to make on that one deal? 500. Your RVP, you making 11. The difference between the two, this is what you're going to talk about, but you look like that. See, your first presentation is you. How do you present yourself? That make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now you get that part intact. Now you're moving into now the credibility of the company. I'm intact. I'm gonna talk about me. I'm talking about my family. I'm talking about why I'm excited about the company, and then I get into the company because they gotta buy me first. You gotta tell some jokes. You gotta compliment people because they gotta like you, right? So I always look around the house and find something I can say about the house. Oh my God, that TV, oh my God, that plant, oh my whatever, something, because everybody got the flashing sign. What does it say?
Make me feel special.
Make me feel special. Right? If you see that car, oh man, that's a bad ride. Where'd you get that? How do something to make them smile and make them feel like you bragging on them so they can brag back about themselves. They bought your presentation, you first. Now we can start talking about what?
Them.
We can start talking about Primerica, because Primerica don't mind if they don't like you. Yeah, I've been in a presentation and one person never liked this the whole time.
Yes.
Right, that's the person I work on. Because no point in me giving a presentation and dude like this the whole time, like he don't want to be involved. Right? So I gotta say things to stroke his ego. Yeah, I gotta stroke his ego. If it's a woman, I gotta say something to make her feel good. I'm gonna say something about her kids or something like that. I gotta break the ice with that person first. Does that make sense? There's no point in me moving forward if I ain't first shook this thing. Right? So your presentation, the way you are, the way you set up, that got to be right. And now you got to make sure now that you got their arms open. Don't talk to people who sit like this. Don't start your presentation if they like this. You got to get them arms down.
Would you use form to do that?
Yes, absolutely. I would go into the form. Family, occupation, recreation, then I would insert me. But I'm gonna overly compliment them though. Right? I'm gonna compliment them first. I'm gonna find something to compliment them. I'm gonna find something to make them break their ice. I'm gonna look at what they're looking at on TV. If they got some sports on, I'm gonna find that common ground with that dude. If the TV had on sports, I'm gonna talk about something. If he's watching the Lakers, I'm gonna talk about LeBron. See, something that you're not interested in, you gotta find interest in. Because you are in the people business. And you're looking for that hot spot with a person. Does that make sense? I don't talk about politics until I know what side they sit on. You can't assume all black people don't like Trump.
That's true.
Some of them love him.
Yes, sir.
I love what he did for the economy. I don't love him personally and other stuff, but I love what he did for the economy.
Yes.
So you don't know how I vote. So I can't go in and just think they black, they don't like Trump. They white, they love Trump. You don't know. Nobody really knows my political views. It ain't on Facebook nowhere. And nobody ever seen me talk about what I believe politically. Because I don't know if somebody that may join my business might not join and I want to tell me because of how I feel about Donald Trump.
That's right.
And I ain't just trying to recruit black folks. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I want me some Caucasians, Hispanics. And I don't know how they feel politically, right? Now, one thing I am going to talk about, you can feel how you feel about it. I'm going to talk about what I believe religiously. I love Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about that, but I'm not going to knock Buddha. I'm not going to knock Fuchsias. I'm not going to knock Muhammad because everybody's truth is their truth. And listen, all I can do is try to let my light shine that maybe you get attracted to what I am, but I'm not going to down what you are. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to like all Jehovah's Witnesses going to hell. I don't know where Jehovah's Witnesses is going. Does that make sense? I know I believe that the way to heaven is you got to accept Jesus. I know I believe that. I'm talking about that, but I ain't going to talk about against what you're doing. Why? Because at some point I want Jehovah's Witnesses in my business. I want Muslims in my business. Does it make sense? So you got to keep things in perspective. And am I saying hide your religion? No, put your religion out there. But don't knock somebody else's belief. Does that make sense?
Right.
Just all you do is just wear your flag. I don't got to lift my religion up or myself up by bringing somebody else's down.
That's right.
I can be a light to them because if you offend them, even if you're trying to win them over, if you believe in Jesus, they don't believe in Jesus, how you going to win them over when all y'all doing is ordering?
That's it.
Does that make sense? Matter of fact, the scripture said, don't cast your pearls to swine. If they don't believe in Jesus, say don't be telling them all that, arguing them about that, because all they're going to do is what? They're going to trample over it. So anyway, I ain't trying to preach it, but it just come out.
Right.
All right, the mom was about to shout. You see him? He said, hey! The man almost shouted, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I almost had him, boy. You better get out there, boy. You're going to break something, man.
I guess that's why they tell us don't talk politics or religion at the table.
Yeah, because if you talk politics, you don't know what side they sit on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now they get and they talking about, man, I love Donald Trump, man. I can't believe they impeached him. I'm like, man, I can't either, man. You know, people did way worse. Does that make sense? I ain't like, hey, I'm on the side that's gonna keep this presentation rolling. I ain't been sitting up there so people get lost in it. Yeah, he need to be impeached. Are you crazy? Then you gonna sign them up for life insurance after that? You don't believe you should have been impeached? Me either. Does that make sense? People did way worse than Trump. That makes sense? And then keep the ball moving. Agree and proceed. You can win. People like they want to win the battle. I ain't thinking about the war. I won this battle. The war is get the life insurance policy and get the recruit.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't win the battle and lose the war. Don't forget why you're there. Okay? So your presentation has to be right? Don't talk to brick wall. People that ain't ready to move yet. Get them comfortable. Find their comfort zone. Find their hot spot. Find what they will open up to you about. And then once you discover that, now you're going to get into your presentation. But again, you got to look right. You got to talk right. Does that make sense? Yeah. And once you got your look and your sound right, now let's get into talking about the company. Because the company means nothing if they can't get past you.
That's it.
Right? Even like with the guys. Like certain things, guys, we got to even look at with guys that we got to bring ourselves up to how the modern look. Like, when you know what I'm saying about the modern look, like certain kind of suits people don't wear no more.
That's right.
So we got to get out of them kind of suits. You got to know this. You got to be conscious of this. Because even though your suit is clean, you got to press right, man, sometimes you just gotta kind of move with the times. Y'all been back in the day, women can walk around with the flower sundresses all day, the little flowers all over them. You can't run around with 1,000 flowers on your dress no more. They don't do those no. I don't know if I ain't a woman, but that to me it's like, wait, you got 1,000 flowers. I'm not trying to plant a garden.
Come back around. Fashion come back around.
It could, but I don't think that came back in. But my point is, if it ain't, you gotta know when it's back around. If it ain't back around, you gotta be conscious of that, because this is a business of attraction. Always remember that it's a business of attraction. They gotta look at you and be like, see, when the man walking the road, you see him with that little bit of little pants. Come here, man, let me see you.
Grab us.
Come up here. You know what I'm saying? So you got the little tie and all that. This is the new look. Like the dudes wear the pants was kind of, back in the day we say he flooded.
Right.
They're right, and I'm like, man, dude flood, but this is the new look. I got me some of them now. I'm too big for them, but but I wear them now because this is the look. You can't be wearing the, he told me, man, stop putting out, all my pants had cuffs in them, right? He said, stop putting all them cuffs in your pants. So all the last 5 suits I bought, guess what I don't have in them? No cuffs. And you couldn't get me to buy a suit without cuffs. I thought cuffs was a thing. But then I get a young stud, and he said, man, stop wearing the cuffs. You get too old. You look old. Now, because I got offended, but I want to attract more people like him. So guess how I started polishing my look up? Like him, I give him my tie like you be tying yours. Am I lying?
No, that's the truth.
Yeah, so you gotta move to. I don't like jewelry and all this kind of stuff, but I'm starting to think he buys white $2,500 purses. And I've struggled with that. But he bought his white one, so for Christmas, I called him up so he can counsel me first. She was in the store, and I'm like, I know she wants that purse.
I'm about to sleep on this.
Yeah, I might sleep on this one. I wouldn't sleep in the car for 5 minutes. And I got back in, I got my mind right. I was like, what you want for Christmas? She's like, I don't know, but she knew. She didn't know how I was going to feel about buying a $2,500 purse. She already got 2 of them.
She need one more.
No, she's going to need one more again, and that's too much, right? But my point is, this is what she said to me this morning. I said, baby, I ain't demand like to spend money like that on stuff. She said, you spend money to us, I spend money on the team, that makes me more money.
Right.
She said, but the purse will too. She said, if people want to know we balling, they want to know how to ball. If I ain't walking around with these purses like this, they don't think we balling for real. The purse is a show people. I said, damn, she gonna train the trainer? She has selfish motivations behind it, but she train the trainer. Right. That's what she said, but she right about it. I said, okay, we'll get you another one. Round said, yeah, you walk around with $10,000 worth of purses. But the point was, that's what's attractive. See, the young ladies see her walking around with these purses. We recruit people on the purses.
Yeah, you do.
So they see her with the purse, like, damn, she got $25 purse. One girl called about the teeth. Kiana got this deal done. I don't know, it cost about $6-7 grand in her mouth to get them whiter. I don't know what the deal is. My teeth still yellow, and she got a $1,000 smile. But a girl called this morning, and she said, how much it cost? Count was $6-7. I don't know whatever it is. She tell me one price, but I seen another one come out bank account. So I don't know how much damn teeth cost. I don't know how much she got bank. Yeah. So anyway, the girl called saying, about the teeth, and she said, do they do payment plans? And she's like, no, you got to give them $1,000 to book your appointment. That's non-refundable if you don't show up. And then you got to go in there with the rest of the $5,000, $6,000, whatever you owe. And the girl said, all right, 6-figure chick, I won't be getting them teeth. but it was symbolic to saying that y'all in a position to do things that normal people can't do. So it makes them want to what? Figure out how we in that position.
That's right.
You got to be attractive first. The first part of the business is to the business of what? Attraction. And if ain't nobody attracted to you, they not joining you. So I don't care what all this say, before we get to how you need to properly present this, you got to make sure this is intact. Does that make sense? I asked him what to say, man, damn, you got to wear everything designer? And he's like, yeah. He had a book bag. We was going to where was he going? Dallas. So he picked me and counted up some outfits. And he put them in his bag. Well, the damn bag was a Louis Vuitton, I don't know what it was. It was just a book bag, but it was a name. I was like, True Religion. Can you just get a regular backpack? I said, you got something regular? He said, no, I don't think so. Now, I ain't going to go to that stream. I'm not going, if you don't ask me for that bag, I'll be having one. But if you remember I got it, I'm not going to have you one. That's exactly how that deal going to go. Y'all give them a hand. Don't it look good? Right? And so that's how you want to go look. You got to look at the people that's successful. And you can't just look at, how they do their presentation. You got to look at the whole, you got to accept the whole man, the whole body of work. And you want to emulate that. Y'all see how George walking here looking? Yeah, I mean, George looks like you peeled him right out of a magazine.
Right.
Does that make sense? But your appearance is everything. You're going to give me a presentation, but your presentation ain't right. All right, so let's get into it. So I'm right first, right? You got to make sure that when you walk out the house, guys, you should, get. I never understood why Cal had the full body size mirror. Keisha got one too. They got the whole life size mirror. I'm like, damn, you need to make sure you're right. Yeah, I ain't never understand this stuff. It's making sense now. But she be in the mirror, she be doing this, and she gonna make sure. I'm like, what is going on? But she doing all that, but she making sure it's in there. But now I'll be in the mirror. I'm glad we got the mirror. She like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm checking me out too. That makes sense? And then you got to give yourself the nod. And like, yes, the world ready for me now. And I'm ready for the world. But you got to care that much. Your hair, all of that, your nails, right? You got to be mindful of stuff. Because it can be that one little small thing that throws off your whole presentation and people won't do business with you. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars and you don't look like it. Am I telling you about design and everything? No, I don't have no design or nothing. He got all the designer stuff, but I went and got me some nice stuff that, I made about $100 tie, but I got on a $100 suit. My suit ain't no $3,000 suit. It's a $100 suit, and I put a $100 tie with it. The details what makes the difference. Does that make sense? And y'all got to agree.
You look good too.
Oh, thank you. I see you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kept talking. Wait on y'all saying. Y'all holding out on me. I done spun around 3 times. Y'all still doing that's the maturity here. You know what I'm saying?
I like this one who's laughing.
Yeah. And then, she always tells the mind how you look. You look like look. Monday, she went here. He on the stage and he ain't getting the one point. Like, what my baby? He going crazy. I called you that night. I said, the mind was looking for you. He couldn't even function. Because he had nobody there to say, you look good. Everybody got a flash of sign on their chest. What does it say? Make me feel special. Make me feel good. Now we left and just about it, but who don't like somebody saying you look nice today? Everybody does. So you make sure you give them something to say. Make sense? All right, so let's get to the presentation. I've been talking about this for 15 minutes. Let's get to the presentation. So when you talk about, again, remember, any point that you make in a presentation, it has to have what? Significance. A meaning. Right? You have an agenda. Why are you even talking about this? And if you can't answer that, you shouldn't say it. Right? I don't just talk for nothing, no empty sound. So when I go into this presentation, I say, we represent Primerica, the largest independent financial service marketing organization in North America with over 130,000 licensed agents. Why did you say that? Because everybody want to be a part of what everybody is a part of. Right. See, that's the whole reason behind that. We have over 130,000 licensed representatives. So now I ain't gonna just leave that loose in most cases. There's no way we're able to do that because we hire a lot of people part-time that want to make an extra $2 or $3 grand a month. I'm gonna plant a little bit of seed right there. And we're able to grow at this capacity, be the largest independent financial service marketing organization because we hire people part-time that have a need to make an extra $2 or $3 grand a month, and we can help them do that with no threat to their current career. See, that you plant that system. Whoa, they got 130,000 people. Everybody's working there because they can make an extra $2 or $3 grand. They still keep their own job. Subliminally, you planted that seed. But when you say it, you got to say it with conviction. We had over 130,000 rates, and the reason we're able to do that, see, you got to have your hands. The reason we're able to do that, you got to talk with confidence even with your hands. See, the reason we're able to do, y'all see a lot of time I do hand gestures. Because people get out of tune, but when you're moving around, right, notice when I'm talking, I go back and forth across the stage, I be walking, I be doing all this stuff, it's to keep people engaged. At some point, you got to get off the stage and talk to people. You got to go in front of somebody. Does that make sense? Because it keeps them all captivated. But if you standing here at the podium in one spot the whole time, now they got to find something else to keep their interest. They start looking around the wall, they start talking to each other. But when you come down off the stage and you get into the audience and you doing this, you're doing group presentation, you got to get out there and be a part of the group. Don't stand in your square, don't stand in your box. We're not square dancing. You're giving a presentation. So you got to get interactive. You got to get them moving with you. Does that make sense? So over 130,000 licensed agents, the reason being because we hire a lot of people part-time. who have a need to make an extra 2 or 3 grand a month, and we're the leading company in helping people make an extra 2 or 3 grand a month in the world. We listed on New York Stock Exchange. One of the tickers said, Pure Eyes, so you know in the morning when you hear it, I do with my hands. When you hear like the dial is up, the dial is down, we want to companies that heavily dictate that flow. We started trading at what?
$15.
$15 a share. So we said we started trading at $15 share. Today we trading close to $140. Imagine if you had a job. See, you want to use illustration that can bring it back to they level, because some people don't understand no stock market. Saying it started at $15 a share and it closed today we're about $140. That don't mean nothing to nobody that don't understand the stock market. What does that mean? So I put it in layman's terms. You made, if you got a job you worked up for $15 an hour, Sue, you go in today and they say now you're gonna make $140 doing the same work. Do you love that job? Oh yeah, see that it's relatable now. Does that make sense? Because we put it in what? We put it in layman's terms. Make it make sense. Right? So now you love that job. You say, well, so we've been in business since 1977. So even though we started publicly trading in 2010, we've been around for over 40 years. And 40 years in business, would that say that company's pretty strong? That company's pretty solid, 40 years in business? Yeah. Absolutely. It's credibility. We ain't going nowhere. You got to be okay with make sure they're clear about that, they understand it. And then we have more than 5 million lives that's assured with us and 2 million what? We got over 2 million investment clients. And I always say words like over 5 million lives assured and over 2 million clients trust us with their investment accounts. I don't say we just got 5 million lives assured, I said, but we got over 2 million clients that trust us with their investment accounts. Right? And so now when I go through that page, right, what did I talk about? Who we are, how big we are, and how we got that big. Who we are, right? What we are, how big we are, and how we got that big. The credibility of being on New York Stock Exchange. That's why this picture is back here. You may want to reference that sometime. Right? That's when we went public trading. It's been on the New York Stock Exchange. This is the ringing of the bell. Right? We've been on New York Stock Exchange, been in business since 1977. Let them know that we ain't going nowhere. And we got more than 5 million lives assured with us, and over 2 million clients that does what? Trust us with an investment account. Then we go here. Now we listen on the Forbes magazine. Further into what? Credibility. Right? Forbes magazine lists as one of America's 50 most trustworthy financial companies in the world. So it said if you're going to do investments with a company, Primerica is one of the ones that's most trusted. That's why I said 2 million clients does what? Trust us. Forbes said what? We're the most trustworthy. How many times they hear the word trust? Faith come by. Faith come by. You building their belief that we are trustworthy. So you got to understand the psychology in giving a presentation. See, if you don't understand the psychology of that, you won't say trust us twice. You don't understand that you're building their faith because what they're hearing. They've heard a lot of negative things about Primerica, right? So their faith in Primerica was based on what they heard previously. You got to make sure that you bring certain points, because they say you can't trust Primerica. They be trying to rip you out when you mind. All foolery. But you say trust. The seeds are getting down and say we should trust them. Make sense? And so we go in and say, yeah, Forbes 2015 listed Primerica as one of America's most trustworthy financial companies. Recent 2019 article that says the best place for a woman is considered employment is the best place for a woman to work. So in other words, because they looked at that 2015 like, well, yeah, back 2015. That was a whole 4 years ago. So you bundled in, and Forbes still talking about 2019 says the best workplace for women. Right? So they're looking at, man, okay, Forbes said that about them? I said, you heard of Forbes, right? Yeah, you can't raise your hand to get on the Forbes list. We got the Dow Board Award. It's one of the highest investment awards you can receive, right? 15 years and running. We got an A+ rating with AM Best, and AM Best is the company that ranks insurance companies. They've rated those companies for over 100 years. And they rate Primerica as A+, superior. Pretty credible company, wouldn't you agree? So our mission. Now you got the credibility down. You put your heart into that. When you get done with that credibility piece, they should be like, yeah, that's a good company. If you did it right, that's how they should be feeling. That's a good company. See, when I went to go recruit Damon, one thing that he was doing the whole time when I was talking to him, is Googling everything I said. So I had to make sure I was clear about Forbes, what they said about us. What did Forbes say about Primerica? Right? What did AM Best say about Primerica? What does Warren Buffett say about Primerica? You know what Warren Buffett said about Primerica? Out of all the stocks in the world, there's 50 companies that you should invest in. 5 top companies that you should invest in. Guess who's one of the 5? Then he says an absolute buy. Primerica. If Warren Buffett said Primerica is an absolute buy, what should you probably be saying? Absolute buy. And guess what Warren Buffett owns? Insurance company. Because most of his wealth come from insurance company, and he don't own none of Primerica. Warren Buffett Pickens bought shares, but they had to bring those all back. It's part of the contract, part of the deal. But he said even beyond that, that you still should be getting stock from Primerica. Does that make sense? Now, Warren Buffett, he usually advised the president on a fiscal economy. He's saying go buy Primerica stock. See, some things like this you just interject because you're building what? The credibility. Now we're going for the credibility, now we're going to go into our mission statement, which leads us to the concepts of the company. And you got to make sure that you don't glaze across this. Right? You got to be efficient in talking about our mission statement. Because when you hear the word mission statement, what do you think in your mind? Somebody say this is our mission. What we stand by, what we set out to do. What's non-negotiable. A mission is complete. Right? A goal is optional. A mission is accomplished. So this is what Primerica is set out to accomplish. Our mission is to help families, number one, earn more income. And don't stop at that. Now it's time to start getting into the crusade. See, some people give a presentation and there's no crusading. You got to kind of be like Martin Luther King. I have a dream, getting water hose. You fight for something. When you're talking about this, you should be thinking about the crusade, and you want to correct an injustice. You want to help people get out of their current situation that could be crisis to them. Does it make sense? So our mission is to help families earn more income. See, you got to get convicted by that. And the toughest thing to get convicted by is something you ain't been convicted by. The toughest thing to convict somebody by is what you have not been convicted by. You can't. Matthew's favorite phrase is what?
Convince people, convince.
Convince people, convince people. We help families earn more income. That's why it's important for you to go make money here. We help families earn more income. You got to be convicted by it because most people, the biggest challenge is they don't make enough money. See, we help with that. Right, number one reason why divorce, all the kind of stuff, because they don't make enough money. So our mission statement starts off, it's not about no products. It says our mission statement, the company is concerned with helping people make more money. They didn't talk about the product first and how it's going to make the company money. They said our mission is to help people earn more income. Because the biggest challenge that we face in America is people's jobs don't pay them enough money to live the life they want to live. And we help with that. And this here gives you a chance to interject your story, your why. See, anytime you do the presentation, they buy who? You. So you go to your mission statement, our mission is to help families earn more income. You saying that's why I can't work with the company. I got tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I got tired of somebody putting their thumb on me. I want to position myself where I can earn more income. To do the things that I want to do, not just the things that I have to do. But see, the question is, are you convicted by that yourself? Is that really why you came? Or have you lost sight of it? It's why we all came, but did you lose sight of it? Talking to Dormont Keisha this morning. Keisha's like, ooh, I'm ready now. You know, I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm going to turn up. This is Dormont's wife. I'm like, damn, I thought y'all was already turned up. No, that was him. He did nothing. Watch my smoke. I'm ready now. I'm like, damn, it took you 7 months? She's like, yeah, but I'm ready. You know, so me and Dormont giving her a hard time. She started setting appointments on us right then and there, right? But it's remembering why you signed up every day. Because your actions dictate what you believe, not your mouth. Your action. Like Paul tells us in the Bible said, show me your faith without works. He said faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. He said, you show me your faith without works. And I'll show you my faith by my works. I know what you believe based on what you do, not what you say. Does that make sense? So if I believe that the mission is to help families earn more income, if I came so I can earn more income, then what am I doing that's going to lead me to that? See, sometimes your presentation is not effective because you're not living the presentation.
Yeah.
You are the presentation. You living it. You breathing it. Some of y'all ain't got no mapping and no investment yet. It's hard to talk about this stuff when you ain't living it. See, you can talk with more conviction when you got some of your income from your commissions automatically going to the MAP program.
That's right.
You ain't got to send your whole check, but 10%.
That's right.
If you get $2,000 a month, $200 went into your investment account. See, you got to be that walking epistle, right? That's what I'm talking about. Read amongst men. They can read your life. You can talk about your story. So we have people earn more income because the jobs don't pay them enough to live the life that they want to. And see, if you going months with no paycheck, if you accept being here for months and probably don't cut you no check, it's hard for you to, with conviction, to say that to somebody. That's one thing not to make money, but you got the effort. You just got some hiccups with lapses and all. You got to get that squared away and get better quality of business. But it's nothing that you and your actions don't look like you fighting to go make money. So when it comes across, it's casual in your tone. See, you ever know the difference when you do a presentation after you got $1,000 in your bank account? See, that presentation be like this, boy. You like, it's a different presentation because it just hit that $1,000. Yeah, so you hit that $1,000. So now you talk in a different tone. You walk different, right? Because you're living it. That's why it's important. It's important for you to live. It's important for you to go through the nuances that needs to lead you to the money, right? So we have families earn more income, become properly protected. Second part, your conviction comes from your actions. Properly protected. It's hard to talk about somebody being properly protected when all you got is $100,000.
Okay.
See, if your policy is still the same policy that you wrote when you joined,
Okay.
you might not be convicted yet. See, at some point, after telling the story and saying the income replacement and the mortgage get paid off and send the kids to college, if your dime and you ain't living your dime,
That's right.
you still got $100,000 in life insurance, and I don't know if that conviction hit you like that. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Does that make sense? Yeah, you got to be convicted. I want to make sure that you're properly protected. I want to make sure that you're properly protected. Most people got life insurance through their job. They're not properly protected. If they die, who they going to ask about the benefit package? Who they going to ask about the debt claim? Who do they call? They boss? They supervisor? Who do they call? And how much protection is it? And how you got to die to get it? So I propose questions in their mind like, damn, I don't know who my family calls if I die, I got job insurance.
Okay.
See, you wrestling about job insurance at the end of your presentation, talking about, you know, you lose a job, you're going to lose it, girl. You know, you should have been saying that early. In the mission state, we want to make sure you're properly protected. Most people only got job insurance. You lose your job, you lose the insurance. And if you deal gal and you die while you're on the job, who do your family call to get the money? What company is it? Who the policy through? Damn, I ain't never thought about that.
Okay.
See, your presentation is a conversation, and it should provoke their mind to think about things to help them make a decision that they would have made a long time ago had somebody explained it the way you do. That's a proper presentation, is to get them uncomfortable. Does that make sense? How many of y'all remember when you first gave your life to Jesus? How many of y'all remember? That was the day you was uncomfortable. You start thinking about that hell thing? Ooh, I don't know about that. And you felt uncomfortable. People make changes when they feel or disturbed. You can't go through this and not do it in such a way where they don't feel the same. They shouldn't feel the same. When you give your presentation, you should be like the old hymn. You won't leave here like you came, right? Because they want to change. Because you disturbed them. You made them uncomfortable with where they were right now. Does that make sense? So we're going to make sure that the families earn more income, become properly protected. You throw in some interjections about being properly protected. Huh? No, this one, bro. Yeah, I think if you went that one, you and Queen would have some problems. And remember, yeah. All right. He's gonna move Queen stuff out. That was not the agreement. All right. So we want to make sure they are properly protected. debt-free and move them towards being what?
Financially.
Financially, you want to move them towards being financially independent. Now, do you think the average person in your life know what financial independence means?
No.
No, they don't. They don't know what it means to be financially independent. So you got to talk about what it means to be financially independent. Financial independence when you got enough money that you ain't got to what? You ain't got to work for it no more. That's what being financially independent is, that you got enough money where you ain't got to work for it no more. And Dorman, you put those glass desks over here in this corner. You put those over here. You need to move them or whatever. You can have them do them. Yeah, so you got enough money when you said, then I'll use an example. You see people that working at Walmart, Sam's, they 70 years old. It ain't because they bored. It's because they ran out of money before they died. So they got to, normally in most situations, they got to work until they die. So your presentation is reaching the heart of people. You ain't just giving information. You got to make sure your presentation is not giving information. You got to be convicted by it first. And once you're convicted by it, you can convict people. That's why it's important that you got life insurance that can replace your income if you die. To the people that depend on you. You convicted. Now it's not hard. I'm talking from real. See, when I'm getting my presentation, I'm thinking about, yes, if I die right now, Kiana get to keep the house. If I die right now, they get to keep the cars. All that, because I put something in place that when I'm gone, they can still carry on the way they was when I was here. Does that make sense? So, and then being like, say, financial independent. I use an example. You see people that 7 years old working at Sam's and Walmart. You think they're there because they want to be or because they got to be? Because they got to be there. So we got to make sure that people position their lives where they ain't got to be there. When you 70, you don't need to be, you don't want to be, you don't desire to be working at Walmart. But if you don't put some things in place in life to start working towards not being at Walmart, guess where you're going to be? You're going to be at Walmart. And see, if you got a map going on some of your groups, say that's why I invest some of my money. 10% of my commission automatically before I give. That's what I would say. I'm able to say that in my appointments.
That's right.
I'm able to say that to my agents. Yeah, 20% of the Carolina income. I was talking to Dennis Love the other day. We went to a Sun basketball game and out to breakfast. And I said, he said, man, you just seem like you do whatever you want to do. I do. He said, how much money do you spend? I said, all of it. No, I do. I don't live my life where it's something I want to do. I'm at the point now, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. Right? Yeah. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to do. Make about 50 grand a month. You think I'm going to not do something?
Right.
Yeah, bad money now is going to still be at least 30. Huh? I say what I want to do. Don't get it twisted. Difference. She probably needs to be able to do what she want to do. She ain't got to fight hard. She, the way you can get whatever you want from your man. Yeah, we got a kryptonite. You know when to ask when you put the kryptonite on. You don't try to kill Superman without kryptonite. Huh? I don't want to practice on. You want to buy it? Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, good. Go ahead. We'll work that out. All right, so, what was I saying, folks? I was talking about sex. I was talking about kryptonite, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to help y'all women. If y'all want y'all man to do something, ask them at the right time. That's my whole point. Your presentation. All right, yeah, I'm talking about being financially independent. Right, okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that I do what I want to do. Yeah. I do whatever I want to do, but here's the thing. See, I live like that, so like, last month, company pays about $50,000, right? Mm-hmm. But in that $50,000 that we made, 20% automatically goes to my investment account. Yeah. Before I ever got any of that money, it hit my account, 20% of that $50,000 went straight into the investment. Exactly. So 10% of $50,000 is $5 grand. That's right. 20% is. So how much did I save last month? $10,000. I ain't have to even think about it. I ain't have to write no check, and it's optional if I'm going to invest. No, 10 grand went into my investment account. I didn't even have to think about it. No. So now I ain't got to think about, should I do this or should I do that? When something comes across my mind, I want to do. If the rest of that money, 40 grand, if I spend every dime of it, I usually do. I live the life I deserve. Does that make sense? But I got some investments. I can talk to you about being convinced or convicted because I am. That's right. Does that make sense? So what am I saying to you agents? Get convicted.
A reconvicted.
Yeah. and stay convicted this time. Stop backsliding on your business.
That's it.
All right, so any questions on that? Is this helping somebody?
Yes, where do I sign up?
All right. So to go through the misstatement, see, transition is important too, guys. Whenever you're doing a presentation, make sure your transition is on point. Right? And in a transition, if I'm talking about our mission statement, we have to be earn more income, properly protected through life insurance, debt free, and be financially independent. And the way we do that is we work through our strategic partners. These are all the companies that decided to join in with Primerica. And I'm sure you've heard of some of them like Bright House, AIG, Lincoln Financial. Have you heard of those companies before? Those companies decided they want to partner with Primerica. See, that's credibility leading. I'm going to the products and all that, but the credibility is still in there because companies of this magnitude, Genworth, right? Vivid Smart Home, Answer Financial, the largest auto home brokers in the United States. These companies decided to partner with Primerica. Why? Because we built the largest distribution of financial service, over 130,000. See, some of you, when you're moving forward in your presentation, it should be feeding the backside. I'm pointing back to, because you don't want to lose. People have a short attention span. So I'm bringing you back to the points that I want you to remember, because everybody want to be a part of what everybody is a part of. So I'm just taking this liberty to say, why did all these companies add to our credibility? Even though I'm going to the concepts now, right? I'm talking about the credibility, add to the concepts, because I'm going back and say, these companies decided to what? Partner with Primerica to help get solutions to our clients, because we now have the largest distribution in the world. We're putting these companies in front of families they never would have gotten in front of. We are the Walmart of financial services. Does this make sense? Yes. So I'm going back to that, and now I'm going to take the liberty, because I know my presentation don't talk much about Answer Financial and Vivid at this juncture, but I'm going to tease on Answer Financial. It's part of this thing, but I'm going to tease on the largest brokers in the United States. Over 40 A-rated companies compete for our client business at one time. Vivid Smart Home Systems. The one when you ain't at home and somebody walk up to your door, your phone say ding dong. You see who's there. Does that make sense? And so you go through that. So and then American Fund. So once I hit on this, these are all the companies that work or partner with us to help us accomplish our mission. Right? I know the next slide is talking about how money works. Right? So these are all the companies they work with. So before I go into how money works, guess what I'm going to say on this slide? The last thing I'm going to say, the last company I'm going to point to is going to be one of these investment companies. Right? So we partner with companies like Voya, Answer Financial, Vivid. Touch on what they do real briefly. Because our bread and butter is buy term and invest the difference. So Answer Financial, Vivid, and a little bit more what they do. And then we have companies like AIG, Lincoln, that helps us protect the people against outliving their money. To help them become, again, financially independent, right? And we teach simple concepts like bypassing the middleman, becoming an owner, not a loan, because most people, they get their paycheck, guess where they save their money at? Banks, credit unions, and insurance companies. I'm always pointing at the words. Why am I pointing at the words? I want to grasp their attention. I want them to participate. Does this make sense? And people believe what they see in writing. So, right, so they take their money in banks, credit unions, and insurance companies. The only reason why I point to it, because at the end of the presentation, when I recruit them, I want them to understand all I did is read left to right, top to bottom. Because I don't need them saying they can't do this, because what did I do?
Left to right.
I read left to right, top to bottom. Does that make sense? All right, so we're bypass the middleman, become an owner, not a loaner. So traditional financial institutions really makes a lot of money off of it, because most people save their money in the bank, but do the bank keep their money in the drawer?
No.
No, the bank take your money, they reinvest it back into the global economy. So you got 10 grand into the bank, and the bank put the 10 grand into the global economy, they're making interest in the global economy off whose money?
Our money.
Right, 10, 12, 15%. So if Zora comes to my bank and she got a $15,000 credit card, $10,000 credit card, they loan her my 10 grand. They charge her 9 or 10%, but what do they give me? Yeah, a lot of smaller numbers than 10 to 12, right? So let me ask you this, if you go to that same bank and you want the credit card, that you got your money and you want the credit card, they loan you somebody else's money, they charge you interest, 10 to 12%. How can you effectively get ahead in life if you're getting less than 1 but paying more than 10? See, you gotta get them talking with you in a presentation when you present. You gotta get them feeling the crusade of this thing. Some of you all are just giving information. You gotta crusade their heart while they be like, damn, you right. Man, they is doing that to us. It has to be created us against them. Or Bill to come and say he has to create an enemy. He really has nothing against Prudential like that. But people fight harder when they have an opposition. I don't know how fast I can really run until the mind got beside me and I beat him in Dallas. When somebody beside you, you run harder. Does that make sense? If I would have caught a cramp, I would have beat him.
That's right.
Yeah, Sue. That's my replacement right there. Take it, Sue. She understands. So you think about this. So even with this, you got to create an opposition. It has to be, because if you don't create an opposition, if you don't talk about what they did to us when it comes to properly protecting our family, if you don't talk about the jobs ain't paying enough money, if you ain't talking about the banks are screwing us with return, you the enemy. It's you against them. When you came in the house, they saying like the mom, I ain't need no life insurance, I don't want to make no extra money.
That's right.
It was me against him. I had to turn it to what? Can't be me against them again no more. Can't be me against them in the household. It got to be us against them. Us against them. I got to bring them on my side. We're on the same team. We got on the same jersey. Let's go. Does this make sense to anybody? Yes. You got to talk like that. Can you believe this how they doing us? They be like, no, I can't believe they doing us like this. They ain't got over $2 in the bank, but they felt like they was a part of a crusade. Am I right?
Right.
That's what all the movements that was made, because people wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than them. That's the key. They want to be a part of something that's bigger than them. That's why they fought with Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and all that. They risked their lives because they want to be a part of something that was bigger than them. They want to fight for a cause. It ain't about the money. The money is the byproduct. People don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. When they feel like they're a part of something that's going to be great. When they feel like somebody's taking advantage of them. When they feel like that they can help with correcting an injustice. They want to buy in more. But you got to make sure you understand that. So you can present properly, not just cavalier and talking, casually. Giving information, not provoking a feeling. You got to provoke an emotion. Black people are emotional. You got to get them wanting to cry. You got to get them wanting to fight. Then when somebody comes and say something about or against it, it's like you said something about their mama. Saying through the pop this collar on me, now you better not say nothing about Primark in front of him. Because I gave him a feeling. Provoked an emotion. Does that make sense? People don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. How did you make them feel? How they feeling when you get done with your presentation? How do they feel? Do they feel the same when you walked in? If they do, it's because you just gave a bunch of information. You didn't provoke an emotion. Does that make sense? What do you look to accomplish from talking about this page? Well, I want you to be pissed off at the bank. That's what I want. I want you to say, I need one of them mutual funds. People get together mutually and have fun. Right? They need one of them. But they didn't need one because of the Rule 72. I ain't talking about the Rule 72. But when I get down this page, you don't want to bank with the bank no more. That makes sense? Yeah. See, we got a powerful position, primary. Right. Powerful position. We got products that we're offering that people absolutely need. They're going to die. They need life insurance. But they ain't going to buy life insurance just because they're going to die. They're going to buy life insurance because you make them feel like they're going to leave their family hungry and destitute. You're going to make them feel like it's a sin that they're walking on the street paved with gold, their family getting kicked out the house. You made them feel away. They don't forget the feeling. Is this making sense to anybody?
Yes.
So bypass the middleman. So they put in the global economy and they make a ton of money off your money, but what they give you in return? You get them to say what? They ain't giving us nothing in return. Now when you go borrow money from that same bank and they loan you somebody else's money, do they loan to you for free?
No.
No, they make you pay. So how can you get ahead in life if you're paying 10 to 12% and you're getting less than 1%? How can you get ahead financially? You can't. So we teach concepts around this like the Rule of 72. It's what the banks use to determine how your money gonna grow, how your money gonna double. Isn't it something important to learn?
Yes.
Right, but have you ever heard of it before?
Yeah.
No, now who I'm making them mad at? No, they already mad at the bank. School system.
I was already mad at the school system.
Yes, you already mad, bunch of student loans.
Microeconomics.
Yeah, right?
And I asked that instructor word in life, well, I have a use for it, and he just banned me off and told me you just need to know how it works.
Yeah. They didn't want to apply. That's all they got paid to do.
Yeah.
That's all they got paid to do. Right? But now we're talking about the rule of 72 because I want them pissed off at the education system. All I'm doing is continue to do what? Creating no, an enemy. I gotta create an enemy. Somebody gotta be on the opposite side of the field. Cause they need to be on my team. They need to understand we's on the same piece of paper. It's them. Right? So think about the rule of 72. They divide your interest rate to the number 72 to find the approximate number of years that it takes for your money to what?
Double.
To double. So let's say again you got 10,000. That's why on the example I say 10,000 because I'm working with the same numbers. Right? So you got $10,000 in the bank and they give you a 3% return, 72 divided by 3, it shows it takes that money
24 years.
Look at the gap between the time your money's gonna double. And then 24 years later, it's 48 years later, now you got is 40,000. Can you retire on 40 grand? No, you can't. So you think about that 6%, 72 divided by 6, you notice now we lessen the gap, right? Money not doubling every 12 years, still 48 years later, all you got is 160,000. Can you retire for 160 grand? No. But see, most people 401ks giving them 5 or 6%. They think they okay. Now it makes sense why they're going back to Walmart. Every part of your presentation as you move forward should feed the backwards. You keep tying in because you don't want them to lose sight of what you already said because you moved on to another point. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So you got $160,000 and can they retire? No, they can't retire for $160,000.
Nope.
But look at 12%. See what the bank's getting. See 72 divided by 12, your money not doubling every
6 years.
every 6 years. So in the 48-year period, you got $2.5 million. That's the two piece. You can take the top off of that. All right, these screws on it. All right, so you got $2.5 million. Can you retire now?
Yeah.
But see, the rule of 72, you have never heard of before. How can you win the money game if anybody teaching you to? Do you see why we got to get to our community? Do you see why we got to go ahead and educate people and help them understand it? Do you see why Primark is in existence? See, now I brought them on. Made them a point of the crusade. We got to go teach our people. You got to say it with the passion. You got to talk like you upset. You see why we got to get to our people? You see why we got to teach them this? They should taught us in grade school, shouldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, why they ain't teaching this? Because the banks make their biggest profit off our ignorance.
Yes.
My people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. See, now they want to be on the team. You think recruiting is about anything else? No, the recruiting is you crusade their heart. If you crusade their heart, they want to be a part of something that's bigger than them. It's a screwdriver on my desk, a Phillips. And it's not called a 4-way anymore. It's called Phillips. Yeah, they do. I got a 4-way. What is that? That's like a crowbar. That's what you take the things off the thing with. He trying to ask me for a 4-way. That's what you spin when you're trying to get the nuts off the car, man. This is Phillips.
Yeah, we do. I got a 4-way.
Phillips. Yeah, 4 ways to take it. He was like, I was talking to 4 lanes. I was like, you know, man, you know, okay.
Look, Sue, I saw him in the grill. He said, I don't know how to work that.
I don't. That's right. I stay in my lane. Yes, Lord. Thank God for people that know how to work Phillips. Keep me on track. What was I saying? Huh? You get a part of, you ever seen a part of crusade? They don't, when you crusade their heart, they're like, I want to help with this, man. And they also see the importance of why people need it. If they see that people need it, they know that they can deliver it. See, when I show them the comp, it's easier to recruit them because they already convicted and convinced that we need to show up. And we show up and deliver the message in this manner. People want to be a part of it. See, it's easier to recruit them. That's why you can't just be thinking about recruiting. You got to think about crusading. When you crusade them, they join the deal.
But they stay.
And they stayed, yeah, because they didn't join just for money. Because when they ain't making money, they ain't thinking about this leave because they didn't just come for the money, they came for the cause.
That's right.
I don't have the money. But what we do is right. What we do is good. Right? People go to church because they know it's right. They know it's good. They get that feeling. That's why when you present, you can't be dull. People got to come. They looking for the show. They run there. Why you always excited? Because they come for the show. I set myself on fire because they came to watch me burn. It's the truth. I get up here and I'm talking all sophisticated. Ain't nobody coming back next week. The audience got more agents than guests every week. Why? The agents want to see the show. That's why you got to bring it. You got to bring it. Does that make sense? Bought my son a cell phone. That was a big mistake. I had that phone, a cell phone. Why was I thinking that? He called me 15 times a day from his mama phone. I went and gave him his own. He texts me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? Are you even woke, son? Good night, Daddy. No, it's good morning at this point. It's crazy, but
He taking over business, right?
oh, that's all they talked about the yesterday. You want to be a part of the cause. Both of my sons are sitting at the table. My 10-year-old son said to my 6-year-old son, he said, "You gonna take over your daddy business, right?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Dad, you gonna keep going over with me over and over and over again, right? Until I learn it, right?" Right, yeah. And then my 10-year-old said, "Yeah, I got that dime thing down." Right? He said, "Yeah, it's like the debt and the income replacement, right? The mortgage, right? Right? They don't want to be in heaven with the sweet paved gold. They sit back and they listen to you." Yeah, but they remember the stories too. They remember stories. You got to have that part of your presentation. You got to tell them stories. Not too many, but you got to tell them something that's going to convict their heart. Mike Green joined our business because he heard the story about my daughter and the bike. That's why he joined. He came to 3 out meetings. He never joined until he heard the story about the bike. And he said, that's what got him. Because he has times in his life where he couldn't provide something for his daughter that he wanted. And he said, that touched him. People don't remember what you say. They remember how it made them feel. Well, why did he come back 3 times? Because of the show. Because of the show. What we'll say, don't nobody want to be around no dead, dull, disillusioned, frustrated, daggone cracker. You can't be dead, you can't be dull. Damn sure better not be disillusional.
That's it.
And if you're frustrated, don't show nobody. And don't be no crybaby. Don't nobody want to be around you. Dead, dull, disillusional, frustrated, daggone crybaby. Nobody want to be around you. You are no fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Be excited. So anyway, y'all get on Rule 72. We crusade them, right? They want to be a part of something that's what? Bigger than them. They joined the cause, right? So I'm going from Rule 72. Now we're going to talk about the insurance piece, right? So the transition is important, right? We're going to talk about the Rule 72, right? So $2.5 million. Can you retire $2.5 million? Absolutely. And so while you're alive, you can put away money. You can start building towards investments. You can create a lifestyle for you and your family, right? Like Jack and Jill. They both make $3,500 a month. But when you make $3,500 a month, guys, think about this. Your whole lifestyle, they make $3,500 a month, but think about it. They got mortgage, cars, insurance, utilities, grocery charge. So the $7 grand they made, they also spent it. Most people live their life paycheck to paycheck. But imagine this, if John dies, what happens with his paycheck? It dies with him. So if his paycheck dies with him, what changes about this $7 grand?
Nothing.
See, this is the real story. This is something you all got to think about. When you die, your check die with you. Let me make sure RVP primarily.
Okay.
They got RVPs. Now, if you just an RVP, then make sure you understand it. If you just an RVP, your check die with you. Y'all know that, y'all. An RVP check dies with the RVP. If you ain't got no RVPs, your check die with you. Take me out of my base shop. You think everybody gonna still doing everything they're doing right now? You lose my personality. You lose all of that. But if I die right now, do you think Matthew's still gonna be doing business in Kansas City? Yes, he's an RVP, running his own deal. You think Mike Green gonna keep doing? Yes, he's an RVP doing his own deal. You think Dennis? Yes, he's an RVP doing his own deal. So when I die, my check don't die. But if all I have is a base shop, probably going down with the flames at some point. Does that make sense? So you die, your paycheck die with you. So nothing changed about the bill. She still got the baby, got to take care of, but that money's gone. What happens to her life? Drastically, right? So what we do is we do a simple concept called, talk about a simple concept called the theory of decreasing responsibility. And it just helps you know why you need life insurance. Because in your early years, you got to have a lot of coverage. Why? Because you got to take care of, if you die in your early years, you got young children, you got debt payments, you got a mortgage, a loss of your income will be, it will be devastating to the people you left behind that depended on you. But in your later years, your what? Kids will grow. Your debts are low, your mortgage is paid down and paid off. So in your later years, you don't need a life insurance, you need retirement income. Going back to building wealth. But while you're working on building wealth, you have to protect wealth.
Right.
You gotta protect against your living too long, but also your dying too soon. Dying when all of this depends on you. Living when all of this depends on you. You gotta take care of you if you live past 65. You gotta take care of them if you die before 30. Or 40. Or 50 for some of our families. Y'all still making babies at 40-something years old. Stop it. I want this to stop. I do. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Y'all probably say, do as I say, not as I do. Yes, I'm still trying to get me one more. No, I ain't trying. I'm going to get me one more. You know, since we got a vision board by our bed. Y'all, some of y'all was here when we made none of y'all. Well, this before y'all. We did a vision board. Got a big house on there, got a car, I got SNSD, $1 million earner. All that's going to happen in the next 12, 24 months for sure. But there's also a woman on there with a baby. I'm not going to believe the guy's going to answer all of that and just forget old Ronell about that point. He ain't going to do it. Yeah, no. I can't get my, that's incest. I ain't getting my brother. I want me a kid. Not my kid's kid. Me a kid. All right, so we do a simple concept called the dime. And then you go through your dime. But before I ever got to the dime, before I ever talked about them buying, before I ever talked about them joining, I worked on crusading their heart. I want them to be a part of what I'm a part of. Because if you can't keep them in tune about that part, about the credibility of the company, the goodness of the company, the stability of the company, why they gonna listen to you about all the concepts? You gotta come out strong about the company. You gotta come out first strong about you, then the company, then the concepts. Right?
Right.
Credibility, concepts, and then you close them down. Credibility, concepts, close them down. And if you learn how to do that effectively, they're going to join you more. But if you're sitting there just reading off a piece of paper and giving quotes, you ain't going to never grow no business. Because you think you're in sales. And you are in sales, but you're supposed to be selling the crusade. That's what you're selling, the crusade, the goodness, the rightness behind what we do and why people should want to be a part of it. And because we go correct in justice, because we properly protect families, because we set them up to retire properly, because we educate them about finances, this is how they pay us. But they got to believe in what we do before they want to do it. They got to believe in what we do. If they don't believe in what we do, why do they believe that they can go make money doing it? If they don't never believe and buy into what we're doing, you got to put your energy, your effort into what we're doing. You got to have them sitting behind the other side of that desk pissed off at somebody other than you from taking up their TV time. And when you effectively do that, they're like, oh man. It meant nothing that the man say he don't want no life insurance, he don't need to make no extra money. When I got done with him, yeah. His wife got to tell him that you let him trick you. That's my cousin. She thought you let him trick you. Two-faced, tell you. She knew him a year. Right? But this makes sense? All right, so give me some questions or comments. What's your thoughts? What's your thing?
At the beginning, when we were talking about the company, and if you ask them, have they heard from American, they say no, or they haven't heard any negative things. I feel like I shouldn't bring up the part that you should say they will approve me, because I feel like I'm putting that seed in their head.
Well, that's true, but it's twofold. Mm-hmm. All right, so if they haven't heard of Primerica, normally what I would say is, oh, that's not I, because we don't do no TV or no radio advertising. But let me tell you a little bit about us. Then I'm going to Forbes and all that, right? But then by the time I get to the end, and I got the IBAs and all that, then I may still bring up the pyramid. The reason being because when they get excited and start talking to people, they haven't heard of Primerica, but somebody they talk to has.
But bring it up towards the end.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have your IBA and everything. I ain't gonna create an objection. I'm overcoming.
Right.
So I'm gonna have your IBA, your life. If you ain't heard of it, we ain't discuss none of that. You ain't never heard of Primerica? Oh, great. Let me tell you all about it, because 90% of the Primerica you have is the one I gave you.
Okay.
Now at the end, I'm gonna get you prepared so you won't do to somebody what my friend that brought me into the business, mama, did to him. She told him it was a pyramid, and she wouldn't let up off of it, and he never even took the test and got licensed. Imagine if he was overriding me. See?
What is he doing right now?
I'm recording this. No, I'm serious. I think he's a janitor. But he lives an okay life. Yeah, he's a janitor. But that's because it's what somebody said after he left. That's where the seed was sown. Ain't no problem about a seed gets sown. You gotta make sure those seeds don't take root. Right? It says, so when a seed is sown, it says that the birds sowing it immediately come to what? Pluck it up before it what? Take root. That's what they come for, right? Right? He said the devil comes immediately to steal the word. He don't want it to get down in your heart. He don't want to get no root. So he gotta, let me get that before this thing get grounded. Does that make sense? And so yeah, you want to take root, so that's why you want to fortify. So when they leave, somebody gonna tell them something negative. You be fooled if you think anybody gonna tell them something. Hey man, how many y'all after joining Primerica, how many y'all had somebody tell you something crazy? Yeah, everybody. They don't tell you crazy. But if you ain't getting nobody saying they say we a pyramid, they say we a scheme, they say there's another pyramid, don't have no product, this is how it work, and now you fortify, they say don't buy term insurance because it's gonna run out, you know what I'm saying? All the insurance run out. That's why I go through all that stuff, because they gon' hear it even if they buy your policy. Even if people ain't got no insurance, the first thing somebody gonna say when they find out they got something is, girl, I bought some insurance today. What kind of you got term? Oh, girl, don't buy no term. You think you ain't gotta explain this because they ain't got no insurance. No, you still gotta explain it because some fool who ain't never talked about getting no life insurance before, who ain't got none themselves, when they hear they got something, they got term, they gonna tell them they got the wrong stuff.
Right.
So I bring it up anyway because somebody gonna bring it up. If you don't talk, somebody else gonna be talking. So I want to make sure that I give them a feeling around it. I don't say nothing initially. It ain't nothing to overcome at that point. At the end, I'm just gonna fortify, solidify myself. Make sense? Any other questions? Comment? Everybody's good?
Sometimes people be lying when they say they never heard of it, or they just being polite. Like that happened with one of the guy was on with Jerron. He asked him at it in the beginning, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I heard of it." And then as we went further through it, he was like, "Yeah, because when I heard of it before, I was feeling like it was a scam." So I was sitting there thinking, like, you said you didn't hear of it.
Right, but a lot of times too, they trying to see what you gonna say.
Yeah.
So I already know about it. Let me see what you gonna say. Let me hear your lies.
Yeah.
Because I already know all about it. I get that a lot. And so for me, it doesn't change anything with me, whether you heard from it or not. I always tell people, if you heard from it before, you ain't heard from me, you ain't heard right. I say that to them, and I actually believe that.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they heard it from one of y'all. They didn't hear it from me. So they didn't hear it right. And you should feel the same way. If you heard from me, you heard from me. How many of y'all had people join and say, they ain't explained it like that?
Right.
Yeah, they heard from me, you ain't heard it right. I don't know who gave them the presentation. I don't know how many times they field trainers saw them do it before they turned them free. In most cases, you know, most field trainers never see the trainee do a presentation.
That's right.
The field trainer never saw the trainee do a presentation. The field trainer closed all the deals, and when they ran out of one market, they said, okay, you got it now. Notice how it works. So I ain't going by none of that. And everybody ain't convicted. Some people just getting here just so they make them a couple extra $100. I'm here to change my family's life for generations to come. Though the story is told differently based on who's telling it. So if you ain't heard it from me, you ain't heard it. That's how I really feel. And I don't care who told it. Could have been Charles White who told the story. You ain't heard it from me. You ain't heard it right. I heard that before. Don't mean nothing to me. Oh, I don't care who told it to it before I came. They didn't join that person. They're going to join me. They didn't join them for a reason. They're going to join me. That's how I feel about it. Does that make sense? Am I saying everybody else is terrible? No, I'm just saying I'm great. That's what I'm saying. And I want them to hear it from me. If you're going to say no, you're going to have to say no after you heard my best presentation. Unless you piss me off, you might be gone 3 minutes. But I'm working on that because I tell myself, let me see what I would have missed. Let me see what I would have missed if I would let him piss me off. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's what you got to go do. So you guys got to work on that, on your presentation. And you got to practice in the mirror. Right? Next time we do this class, it ain't going to be me talking, it's going to be you talking. I want you to get up and we're gonna start doing teach you how to go do a group presentation. So when we do this again, I want you up talking. I want you up doing it. And I wanna look at it, make sure that you're bringing out the points and the emphasis that we went over today. So I recorded this and it's gonna be, I'm gonna put it in YouTube. You know what I expect you to do? Over and over and over again. You know how I learned how to get how I am right now? I listen to Art Williams over and over and over and over again. And my wife knows when I get certain things, get a hold to it, and I want to learn it, man, I listen to it 15 times that day. Because if I can't do it like that, I'm going to put myself in a position where I can. I ain't going to sit back and just keep losing. I'm going to figure this out. I had to come in and release. She drove down from Kansas City. She's like, I just feel like if I can get closer to the fire. Yeah, we got people here in St. Louis, like, they didn't drive down the street, Miss Ruth. They didn't drive down the street. It was something that they had going on at 10 o'clock in the morning that's more important than building their business. Can you believe that? It's more important. They know I do everything I just talked about, don't they? No, they don't. But they ain't here. I don't too much worry about it, because I'm looking for the ones that's looking for me. I accept and love everybody. Come on in, we're gonna kumbaya. But the people that don't show up for trainings and ain't on conference calls, you ain't finna wrap me up on no phone for 10 minutes. I'm real short with people who don't make the attempt or the effort. You ain't doing no appointments, you ain't got no training, you can't get that much time from me on the phone. You gonna hurry up on the phone. I'm gonna hurry up for you, Keon. Call Keon. She ain't gonna talk to you too long. Keon real short. She's very, very short. I'll talk to you all day if you produce that. Me and Demar on the phone. Demar probably talk to me more than Keisha. Keisha. She gone? Keisha. Who Demar talk to the most, me or you? I ain't trying to get on the phone with him. Because you know why? He do what I ask him to do. Yeah. That's right. He never when I talk to him in the morning. Last when I talked to him now, that's true.
We already talked to him.
Yeah. But he's at all trainings. He's on the conference calls. He's in the field. Then I got Sally Sue, who ain't been to no trainings.
Why did that be school?
The other Sue.
Sally
Sally Sue.
Sally Sue.
No trainings. No conference calls. No appointments. And you want me to be talking to you? No, thank you. Miss Ruby called phone. Hey, Miss Ruby. Zorga, hey, Zorga. I'm like, I'm going to talk to them people. But I don't want to talk to the ones that ain't doing nothing. I just don't. This is a true story. I probably shouldn't admit this, but this is true. I answer my phone based on the scoreboard. I probably shouldn't do it. But if I'm on the other end and Dormont calls, what do you think I do? I click over. I normally click over. So my wife called, I click over. If Matthew calls, I click over. Then till he go on his slump, then I don't click over. And no, serious. And he knows this. Mike Green calls, click over. But when he ain't doing nothing, I don't click over. And this is what Mike said to me about 2 months ago. I know my numbers ain't where they need to be, but damn, man. Damn. I'm like, I was on an appointment. I'll call you back. You know when the number call back? Till 11 o'clock at night when I'm done. That's wrong, gang.
No.
No, I ain't number 24 hours in a day. I mean, the agents we got in our organization, 300. I gotta have some barriers. See, didn't love calling. Guess what I'm gonna do? Need love in the building. Yeah, I'm here. Huh?
Right.
You breaking up, D? Nah, you breaking up. Uh-huh. No, how long was it?
Right.
No, he don't know papers for that right now, right?
Right.
No, he can. Uh-huh. Yeah, we getting through. Alright, I'm good, I'll be free. You want me to go with you? I'll meet you. Alright. Alright, his name ain't Les, is it? Well, it don't matter, I'll meet you with him, I'll meet with you. Alright? Alright. Alright, cool. Alright, any other questions, guys? I'm gonna cut this YouTube while we good on this. Those of y'all that's watching by video, I'm gonna turn y'all off. We'll tune back in on another day this week. Keep checking your emails for when we go live.